Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be diving into a little bit of technical analysis on 𝗕𝗪𝗀. After the recent kind of price action that has been happening within the space, we're going to review where 𝗕𝗪𝗀 and MTV currently sits and what we might be expecting next. Guys, as you find this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here. Right, with that out of the way, let's dive into some technical analysis here for MTV. And we're going to start things with this weekly chart, guys. We are paired up with USDT and we are using KuCoin as a data source. Okay, we've seen a good swing to the upside pretty much from down here, these low areas of January 2021. A good kind of peak was found up here in April, right? This was basically 1.8 cent. We take that high point and the low point from the kind of correction that followed, and that was at 0.0019. And from here, we've had a good rally to the upside, although there was a bit of a pullback, and the pullback actually came in line with what was going on with Bitcoin and things that were going on there. But ultimately, MTV lost 43%. During that particular moment in time. And I think, since then we've actually seen a pretty good push back to the upside. And we're going to talk about what's going on most recently. Okay, so let's actually just talk about that in a moment on the smaller time frames. But we are going to talk about the 409% gains that we do see here. And this basically is from the current position up to the Fibonacci area of the 4.236 coming in at 9.2 cent. That actually runs from the high over here and this low over this end. So when we take that into consideration, it shows us 9.2 cent. But with a micro cap coin like 𝗕𝗪𝗀 and everything that they are doing, their project, the team behind them, and some of those other things that I think everyone should be kind of investigating and researching, it does make this project really interesting to maybe blast through all of those Fibonacci retracement areas. So, for us right now, we are kind of waiting to see that 9.2 cent come in. This would be that 409% gains. And then from there, we want to see and review whether or not we are likely to push up higher. I think there's true potential here with 𝗕𝗪𝗀 to actually blast through many new areas where we could potentially see, 𝗕𝗪𝗀 go to 30 cent or even potentially more. It all depends on the level of marketing that 𝗕𝗪𝗀 could do, coupled with, any good exchanges listing, new partnerships, things like this, right? Because at the moment, we need to have 𝗕𝗪𝗀 listed on really popular exchanges to get it some mass appeal. KuCoin's great. It's obviously on a few others as well, such as 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗪 and PancakeSwap, but the volume and the majority of it is being actually issued and done through KuCoin. So additional exchanges will be beneficial to the price discovery of MTV. And of course, we have to consider the fact that there's a lot of MTV already delegated out of circulating supply, and the supply is not that big either. So therefore, knowing that we have over 2 billion delegated and there's only a supply of 3 billion right now, it does actually make it very interesting to say that it wouldn't take a lot of money to actually move the needle massively to the upside. So again, good partnerships, good exchanges, good marketing could see this thing absolutely fly, and it wouldn't be very difficult for 𝗕𝗪𝗀 to achieve. So overall, we are very, very conservative right now, knowing that the technicals are indicating like a maximum kind of level of 9.2 cent. But again, I'm kind of leaning more towards thinking that we are going to see maybe around the kind of 30 cent area by the time the bull run actually finishes, which will be fantastic for a project of this magnitude. So let's actually jump down into our daily. Here we can see some of the most recent price action. Okay, so to start with, we can talk about where we were at the top here before Bitcoin had a pullback. Bitcoin's pullback actually brought us all the way down 48%. Okay, now this is larger than many of these other altcoins in the space, but not unusual either. Being a micro cap coin, they are going to have the money flow out of them much faster than something that is a little bit more established, such as a top 10 cryptocurrency. Usually speaking, or generally speaking, top 10 cryptocurrencies are considered less risk than micro cap coins. And with that being said, micro cap coins are the ones where you see thousands upon thousands upon thousands of percent in gains, whereas you would be very hard pushed to see something like Bitcoin create a 20,000x. Well, not 20,000x, but yeah, 20,000% in gains in a very short space of time. But this is the kind of thing that you see with some of these other altcoins, be that MTV. We obviously have 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗪, we have DSLA, Silo, AGI. VeChain, Harmony. Those were all kind of really small projects at one point, and you've already seen 18,000% with many of them, 30%, 42%. Okay, but you will not tend to see that kind of thing with things like Bitcoin or Ethereum. They'll be pretty decent returns, but they won't give you the kind of really ridiculously high returns that you would see from some of these micro cap coins. So as a result, obviously there's volatility here. In order to see those gains, you have to accept that there is going to be volatility to the other side as well, right? So although there are explosive gains to the upside, there's also explosive losses to the downside. With that being said, 48% for MTV right now is actually very, very good, and it had corrected us in a pretty good position. From there, we bounced right the way back up, and we started to basically go back higher than our 1.8 cent area. This is actually where we're hovering right now, and this is actually a key thing for us, because basically what we found was this area of resistance just here. Okay, as we went down into our kind of correction, and then obviously fighting our way back up through these key areas. This is the 618, 702, 786 area. Okay, fighting our way through here, back testing it as a support line. Okay, and now we're testing the previous high as a support. This is going to be a key area for us now to explode back to the upside. I would be hard pushed to think that this doesn't happen today, where we go after 2.8 cent. I think that's an achievable target that we should be able to be looking forward to and could see happen here in a very short space of time. We can see that we are oversold almost, just heading down into the lower end of our stochastic RSI on this daily chart. So we can take a look at where we were previously when we were down here, and we were all the way at this point, and we rode this all the way up into the overbought area for quite some time. There were little corrections on this journey, and that allowed us to basically then continue the growth to the upside. Another correction in the middle, just bringing us down and then moving back to the upside before having another correction. So we are looking to push this stochastic back up, and that's going to be an explosive price action move as well for Multivac. So overall, everything here is performing incredibly well. The pullback that Bitcoin caused within the market actually sped things up. It allowed us to correct much faster. When we actually jump this down into our hourly view, this is where things really get interesting. There was, of course, this triangular wedge that was forming to the downside. Bitcoin's correction just pulled us down lower than it, but otherwise we actually pushed right back up. We found the trend again, and then we pushed up above the trend line, trading sideways, testing the previous high as the area of support. Now, if we take a look at what's going on here, we're incredibly oversold. Down here at 2.5, looking for now that explosion to the upside for Multivac. So the fact is the matter here is that we're testing a support line. The support has been held well. We're oversold on our stochastic. We broke up from our downtrend, so our downtrend doesn't exist anymore, and everything's looking pretty good. We throw on the volumes here, we can see the volumes have come down nicely in line with our correction just here, and now we need to see the volume grow, and as that volume grows, the candles will grow, and of course we'll move our stochastic back to the upside. Overall, everything seems to be gearing up for a nice explosion to the upside, and like I said, I'd be hard pushed to think this does not happen today. I'd be surprised if it doesn't, in fact. But overall, everything's looking very, very good. Timing is the hardest thing to gauge, but I would say that everything here is definitely getting ready for another move back to the upside here for Multivac. So let's jump back to our daily, just bring this back in line. The first target that we want to be talking about will be that 2.8 cent. That'll be followed up by 4.5, 6.2, and then 7.2. And then obviously we'll be able to address what happens next here with Multivac once we start taking out some of these levels. A 400% move from here to 9.2 cent is not a big move at all. So something that we should be able to see very, very easily with a project of such caliber. And of course, with very little money actually flowing into it currently. The more that goes in, the higher this thing is going to pump. And there's already a squeeze on the supply. So we know that all we need now is the catalyst for massive price discovery is going to be demand. Get that demand increasing, and we're going to be in a very good position here with Multivac. Guys, if you have found this brief update on MTV useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. Right, with this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one.